Gary, so the Minister talked about planning, and more planning. I guess that's your responsibility. I'm keen to get some questions from the audience, but could you just sort of articulate the structure for us, how the planning environment works in Sydney now, with the Commission, the Planning Department, the local councils, etc. Just a quick snapshot of how that looks.
From the point of the Commission, I think it's one of the most innovative planning solutions I've seen put together in Australia for a long time. And it's a very Sydney-relevant planning structure that's going out, so that you're telling the story about Sydney as a metropolitan area, what the intention is. It's complemented by the delivery platform around infrastructure. We're then starting to see the Commission talk about the contextualisation of the various district and sub-parts of the metropolitan area and how that might need to respond to the higher order comments that have been coming out of the regional plan. And then you have the situation where local councils, through their LEP process, would in turn be responding back up to the district planning framework. So there's that contextualisation from the vision for the entire region through to the district plans, down through your LEP processes. And I think that's a very sound model, and it's complemented by smaller level planning around precincts like the railway stations, like we've talked about today, around the master planning framework. So I think it's a very good strategic model. It puts us in a very good position for the left and the right hand to know what they're doing as we move forward to face those challenges. And you contrast it with a situation that, say, I experienced when I was doing regional planning for the first time, where you had 21 local governments doing 21 sets of their own planning frameworks, not talking to each other, not having a relationship, 15 separate departments doing 15 separate issues. It is a complete contrast, that model, and it's a very logical process that we need to see flow through. So I think 10 out of 10, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. It's at the beginning of the process, and I think you're going to notice some very different attitudes around planning in the next 3 to 4 years.